Hey, I'm live. Look at this, and I'm alone. So, as many of you know, there are times that people don't show up for the after party after show, and that's fine. Sometimes we have two people, sometimes we have three people, sometimes we've had 7 or 8 people. Um, and the basic rule is that I'm here for a couple of minutes. I've said 10 minutes in the past. I might cut it down to 5 minutes. If no one shows up, then I just close out the show and I go about my business for the day. So, is this year over yet, D Parks? No, but it will be soon. I'm going to be honest with you. Oh, John Hudson's here. Awesome, John Hudson. What's up, John Hudson?
Good morning. How are you?
Oh, you're wearing the Buckies. The Buckies. That's. You know, I did not know what that was until I went down to Texas before the pandemic to visit my girlfriend's parents, and I was amazed at the world.
It's a pretty cool store.
It is. It is. And they seem to have a lot of things there too.
Oh, everything.
Everything. Yeah. Yeah.
We go on vacation to Bucky's at least twice a year.
That's good. That's good. So how would you explain for people who don't know what Bucky's is? How would you explain it?
I don't know what it's 10,000 plus square foot grocery store, or not grocery store, convenience store.
Yeah.
With the world's largest car wash and like 150 gas pumps. Yeah. It's a convenience store, Texas style.
Texas style. Exactly. Exactly.
So you got anything planned for the new year?
Yes, actually, we are the girlfriend and I, because, as many of you know, my girlfriend just got over COVID. And so I'm thinking she has super immunity at this point. She got the monoclonal antibodies. She got the resistance just from having the disease. She's been triple vaxxed at this point, the regular 2 shots and the booster. So if we're going to go out and do something, it's going to be now. So we are going to a local movie theater, independent, nonprofit movie theater, and see 2 classic black and white movies, the Thin Man series, Thin Man and the Thin Man Returns, I believe are the 2 flicks. We're seeing that, like I said, at a local movie theater. They do require vaccination, proof of vaccination to get in there. So that's good.
Nice.
We got seats right by the ventilation system that blows air out. So I'm pretty happy about that too.
Sweet.
And afterwards, I might even be sold. We may be bold enough to go out for a pint after that.
Cool.
So those are our plans right there. What about you, John? You got anything going on?
No. Oh, the daughter's got a couple friends that are flying out to the ranch, so it'll be fun.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, so it'll be. I don't go anywhere. Fuck, not much.
Whenever we talk, you always seem to be at a photo shoot, or you're going out for breakfast.
Yeah, I guess it just I used to always be out and about, not so
Well, I think a lot of people are not as out and about now, John.
Right.
I don't know if that makes you feel any better. Probably not. But what's up, Tobin? You're on mute, sir. Just to let you know, you have your mic muted.
I was able to get another half-acre fenced in, which for garden purposes.
Exciting.
So they got to get the soils prepped and such for that. And then I got an area where I'm going to do a pumpkin patch too, because there isn't. I can't find one around here. What they call a pumpkin patch is they truck in a bunch of pumpkins and set them around in a vineyard and call that, And with the photography, I think if I do a pumpkin patch and then maybe do some corn out back behind it and stuff, kind of make it look fall-like, when the Halloween season, fall season comes out. It'll be good for our photo shoots.
That sounds pretty cool, dude. How you doing, Tobin?
Hey, Tobin.
Not bad,
Oh, good.
I was just thinking about that. Yeah, I don't really see pumpkin patches around here. I do see watermelons. We do get watermelons. There'll be people who sell them on the side of the road.
That
Like,
was me.
but yeah, I don't see no pumpkin.
I didn't do them. I just did enough for the family. But the year before, I did a shitload of them and just went out on the side of the freeway and or the highway off 290. All the people coming down from Fredericksburg. It's really touristy there.
Yeah.
And so in between Austin and Fredericksburg, 290 runs down through Dripping Springs. And I could just go down, pull off the road, and it probably took me, I don't know, about 6 hours. Sell off a truckload of watermelon.
Wow, how about that? Now, what's the going rate? How much do you sell?
$5 a melon.
How much?
It was $5 a melon.
Oh,
I put out there putting grandson through college, paying for grandson's college on painted it on a board, and yeah. So, and in a way, I am, because I don't spend money on anything else. Yeah. So anything that's kicking around after I'm dead, it'll be all his.
That's good. That's good. I'm gonna have my kids fight for my money.
The Thunderdome.
They don't know it yet, but that's what's gonna happen. They're gonna have to, fight for
it. Spend what you can.
Oh yeah.
It's I put my truck up for sale.
Oh really?
And I got a guy that wants to offer me a Charger Daytona, which it's a fucking sexy car. It's a real sexy car.
Well, weren't you going to get a larger car now? You were going to get
wanted a VW van because it kind of fits who I am today,
Dude, I had a VW microbus
I love them.
1987. When I bought, it was a 1974 microbus. And funny story, I bought it from my pastor, right? Because I was still, of the faith at that point, and drove that thing into the ground, drove it to Virginia Beach, drove it all around.
They're money these days. They want pretty penny for them.
Yeah.
Man, I love my van.
What kind of van do you have there, Tobin Templeman?
I used to have the Dodge van that was like the one that had the bench seat in the back that you could fold out to a small bed area, and the captain's chairs in the middle.
I like the captain's chairs.
Yeah, they're so useful.
I had one of them conversion vans too back in the 80s. 40 Connell line, but had the raised roof on it. And it's great.
Yeah. There's a new generation of VW vans coming out too.
What?
There's I don't think they're out yet, but I've taken a look.
They're sick.
Yeah. A lot of them are electric, I believe, too. They're electric VW vans, and they are high tech stuff.
And really sexy too.
They are.
With carriers on them and such. My son-in-law was showing me them, and I'm like, I don't need nothing new. I don't do any miles. The only thing that gets miles is my tractor and my mower.
Yeah. Do you have a ride-on mower?
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's 5 acres of lawn here.
That's a lot of lawn. That's 5.
It's a lot of lawn. The dogs love it.
Oh sure. I could definitely see that. The largest lawn I ever had to mow was 3/4 of an acre, and that took me a while too. I just had to push. I had a regular everyday mower.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it was a pain in the ass. Bad choice. When you talk about bad choices people make, right? Because I always like to talk about how I'm right, but I'm more than happy to talk about times I completely screwed up, like with horrible consequences. And one of them was buying a house built in the 1850s that had 3/4 of an acre lot that had a lot of trees in it. And it was just work. That's what it was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
you get into them old homes and such, and I mean, it's one thing after another.
Yeah.
And then, well, it's like mowing around here, the way the house is set up in them different domes and such. I can't get the riding mower in between.
Yeah.
Some of the courtyards and stuff that are in between, and that there's what, like 6 of them that, you know.
You got to get your grandson working there, John Hudson. That's what you need.
He's 5. We'll give him a minute to be a kid.
Give him a minute. Okay.
though he does help me out around, you know, he's helped me put in the fence posts and such.
No, that's good.
You know, he was there.
Right. He showed up. He paid attention.
He was there. He did like playing in the concrete when we was cement the posts in. So
good.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah. So that's my plan for New Year's Eve, was doing the movie thing and going out for a drink. On New Year's Day, I don't know. I'm probably not going to be doing a whole lot of anything besides recuperating. Right? Recuperating. Marmaduke Scarlet says 5 is old enough to work. Tough taskmaster, Marmaduke Scarlet. That's what you are. A tough taskmaster. D says, I need you to get famous so I can work for you and get out of this office. Get on that, Dr. Kennard. Well, I just want to let you know, D, that I officially now have on Twitter over 4,000 followers. And what does that mean? Not a whole lot. But I did go over that milestone yesterday. So, yes. Well, like I said, what does that mean? Not a whole lot, but it's a little something for something.
The one, Phoenix is doing a photo shoot for this gal who does TikTok videos on food in Texas.
Oh, really?
And so she reached out to her because she had like 70,000 people following her. And that's one of the ways she's built up her TikTok. I mean, from, I think it was like under 100 people to 20,000. Well, now her photography will be brought into them 70,000, and she does great work.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if it doubles again.
Oh yeah. Well, that's a good way of building your following, is by working with someone who's more popular than you are. You know, in the
networking, yes.
Yeah, networking.
Absolutely.
And, that is the right, especially on something like TikTok, where it's a relatively new platform and there's still that kind of land grab going on for eyeballs.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah,
it's crazy. I've only gotten new subscribers whenever I've been on somebody else's channel and I do something with them. I always pick up a subscriber or two. It's like the best way to grow your channel, I do think, is by working with other people.
That is definitely one of the ways. That is definitely one of the ways. Yeah. Well, and two, every once in a while, understanding the algorithm of whatever platform you're on is important too. So that's also another thing.
Well, I started that dog page on Facebook.
Well, that looks fun. Yeah, I've seen it.
That was last Tuesday or Wednesday, Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah,
we've got 20 something people. I mean, and the majority of them are not my friends on Facebook. They're just people that have invited other people and such, because dog is good.
Dog is good. Dog is fantastic.
Dog is great.
Yes, dog is great. All hail the dog.
All allow dog into your life.
Yes.
All things are possible through dog. And so on and so on and so on.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's a fun play on words, but what it is just who doesn't love a good puppy, picture. It's just like cats. I don't own cats because I'm allergic to them. Oh, wow. Damn it. I love seeing cat videos and cat pictures.
Well, it does. It is. The internet does love cats, and it is difficult. I mean, there are some people who don't like cats, and I understand that. Cats are very particular animals.
They're assholes.
Yeah, they're not fully domesticated like dogs are.
My dogs, I got feral dogs,
Oh, yeah,
but,
feral
but,
dogs.
but they do cool tricks. Well, the last night I come down, I live in the upper part of the barn, and I come down and I look over, and my little Boston Terrier has got a mouse in his mouth.
Oh, well, that's good. That's what
Yeah.
terriers are supposed to do, right?
Yeah, well, they're ratters, and he's
Ratters,
good at it. He's good at it. And then the one dog, I can take a balloon, put it up in there, and he'll sit there and tip it all through the yard until it breaks the balloon. But
nice.
It makes cool videos. Then Gus is a stunt puppy. He'll jump up in the air and catch things. And then, yesterday I went for a walk, and the one dog, Trash, he come flying over the wall out front. That wall's about 5 feet tall because he wanted to go for a little.
I've seen some dogs make some massive leaps.
He's
wild. Yeah,
he's the only one that can jump up in the back of my truck, and it's probably on the tailgate. I don't know, 4.5 foot or better. He come right up on it.
Australian.
It was great.
People.
Oh, my bad.
Oh no, I can see. Well, yeah, Australians do have a certain cachet here in the States. I would say that. The personal conversations I've had with Australians, like face-to-face conversations in the real world, that they've always been entertaining. And I've always thought that Australians, they're the closest thing to Americans you're going to get, which is kind of an insult, maybe kind of an insult to Australians. And I apologize if it is, but fun people to be around.
Sammy,
right? The 420 atheist, fun guy.
What a great guy he is.
Yeah, true enough.
It was great. The other day, Kendra was looking through Facebook or one of the media platforms and stumbled across something really gross. It was a piece of cheese that people would eat as a delicacy, and it has maggots in it. All right. And she's grossed out. But what she does is she will go to those like dog pictures and the kitty pictures, and she's like, oh, okay, I was feeling grossed out. She'll use it to flip her emotions back to being like happy and bubbly.
Wow.
Yeah. I love the cat and dog videos.
Kendra put up a picture yesterday that was, I was kind of in a crappy spot. I just woke up from a nap. And that it had two birds that were kissing. That was just kind of maybe, So yeah, I understand that it can flip the switch of emotion in just a heartbeat. Oh
yeah. I think Sammy is getting better sleep because in Australia it's midnight or so there. And I think Sam might be getting better sleep patterns, which is great. It's fantastic. I don't want anyone to lose out on sleep for halfway across the world.
Yeah, I think he was saying it was like 1 or 2 o'clock when he was joining.
1:48 over there right now in Sydney.
1, 2 o'clock. Yeah.
Sam was kicking around when I dropped one of the videos at 8 p.m. Yeah, I've been dropping some videos at night, short content, kind of news stories, funny news stories. And he's popped in for that.
Well, it's like that. You and Jack did that preview on Don't Look Up. And I wouldn't have found that movie. I would have eventually, I'm sure, because it's, but I watched it when it first came out that first day. And I've seen it 3 times since, or 3 times total, actually.
Yeah.
I loved it. The people that don't like it, what I'm finding is they're the people that don't believe vaccines are good.
They're the people who don't look up, John.
They are
who don't look up.
God is great. Oh my God. What was that one? The FBI don't put bags on your head. That's the CIA.
But it was a really funny movie. Oh, The Conjuring.
But I thought it'd be real cool if they did. real cool.
Kendra's got a woman at work who gives us DVDs. She likes us to watch them, and then we give them back to her.
Oh,
but
nice.
yeah, they're all like Christian propaganda. Like it's weird. And I see so much of it in movies now.
Yeah. There's even in Don't Look Up, there's a little nod to religion at the very end. There's a little nod, and I'm like, that was unnecessary.
I don't know. I thought it was kind of a slash on it all.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, the entire movie was definitely a slash.
Somehow I feel Jonah Hill. They're like, you're going to be the guy. Just say whatever comes to mind. Yeah. I mean, that part was written for him, you know.
Oh, it was basically letting Jonah Hill play that character that he loves playing, right? He just go riff on this, be a jerk, right? Be kind of a slimy character, and just be that slimy character whenever you have a chance to be.
Oh, Meryl Streep with the tramp stamp, that was golden.
Yes.
What did the smoking pictures cost me? $100,000 a pop. I just decided I'm going to smoke whatever I want to, and my ratings went up 3% or something. My approval rating went up 3%.
So we don't want to give away the movie. It is on Netflix right now. It's if in case you have Netflix, you don't have to pay money to see it. Besides having a Netflix and subscription, so it's definitely worth your time, and it's a funny but dark movie.
I was talking to my daughter about all these because we've got Hulu, the Paramount, Disney, Netflix, and she's like, it's still cheaper than a shitty cable TV when you add them all together.
Yeah. Before I started dating the girlfriend, before we moved in together, the only thing that I had was Amazon Prime because, I was a Prime member to begin with. And, I got rid of cable. I just had internet and I had Amazon Prime. And to tell you the truth, that was enough to satisfy my needs, right? Because I was not really at home so much because I was working all the time.
Right.
And
Amazon Prime, you can find anything you want on there. You just have to pay an extra buck for it.
Yeah. What I do like about Hulu is that we get access to local cable channels. So, and I mean, like the local channels. And what I was really disappointed about is that on Hulu, you couldn't get like PBS. You couldn't get like PBS channels. But I discovered that I can stream the PBS NewsHour on YouTube. And in case anyone wants a high quality news.
Just a regular shit antenna gets me all that.
Yeah.
And I'm out in the sticks,
Oh yeah, well, yeah. Do you even have cables out there, John Hudson?
I don't know that they even have cable TV out here. I don't believe they do.
Yeah.
I don't believe they do because in fact, I know we don't because the daughter wanted to get a Spectrum landline in, and it was astronomical because they have to run 2 miles of cable and trunk to get out here.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, we'll bring it to you. It's going to cost about $20,000 to put you in.
Satellite, dude. Satellite. That would be the way to go.
We are satellite. That's why my internet is so hit and miss at times. Even though
it seems to be good today. It seems to be good today. Yeah.
Well, call up Oliver anytime we have a problem. I'm on a first name basis with my internet provider.
I'm sure they're very excited when they hear from you.
I decided I'm going to do the Tobin beard thing, except a little bit more creeped up on the face. I'm done shaving. I'm done getting haircuts.
Well, that's the only reason why you're done getting haircuts. Now that's interesting.
I'm done getting haircuts.
Yeah, I need to get haircuts because I realized in my 30s, I had longer hair. In my 30s. And then I realized that the longer my hair is, the greater chance of it falling out because longer hair, has a tendency of, popping out faster than shorter hair. And it's like, all right, I gotta conserve what I have because I have a bulbous head and I can't be bald or I don't want to be bald. So
you've got a bulbous head. I've got a bulbous head. I've always had a six head instead of a 4 head.
No,
so.
really, I like that. That's good. I like that. The 6 head is against the 4 head. Excellent.
Oh, during the holidays too. This little guy come. We was ran over to Dick's to get me some new shoes, and the little guy's like, "Mom, look, it's Santa Claus."
Oh, hey, how about that?
Because I was wearing Nick's red Santa hat, like your black one.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, no, I'm Santa's cousin. Yeah, because I was in like Bermuda shorts and Hawaiian shirt and stuff. Yeah, it was kind of cool. So next year, maybe and then another thing I saw where dude was doing Santa Claus going to homes and stuff. And it was $75 for 15 minutes.
$75 for 15 minutes for the
Yeah.
Santa.
Yeah, I'll let kids poop on my lap for that. Yeah, no.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe. I maybe, perhaps. I don't know. I would.
I'm a whore.
I would rather not make money in this space and write funny little stories that make like a little bit of money. And yeah.
Well, that's a little bit better than we do with the photography. The photography is $250 an hour.
That's good.
So
there's nothing wrong with that. So what kind of sleep disorder do you have, Marmaduke Scarlet? My son has the restless leg syndrome, which, is taken care of with medication. I've had, type of obstructive apnea. If I sleep on my back, I get into trouble. And then, what I've been finding, because I sleep right underneath the vent, is that when the heater kicks on, it clogs up my nose.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Might put a humidifier.
Yep, a humidifier might help. You're right, John Hudson.
Hey, my little guy's coming up.
Okay.
Yeah, Mama's got to take the baby over to the doctor for a checkup, and so I got the grandbaby. So,
good for you.
So we're gonna cut out. We'll watch you on the other side.
All right,
hey, John.
Take care.
Have a great day, guys.
Take care. Finally, that guy's gone, right? No, I love John. He's a great guy.
He is. He's definitely got a great personality. Yeah. We talk quite often.
Looking at the last couple of shows, the first show, the 9 to 9:25 show, I wonder if this is some kind of weird scheme by Candace Owens just to stay in the public sphere for some, if this is some kind of, if Candace Owens has this plan, I just got to speak more loudly and more crazy.
The more I've noticed, the more, I'm relevant in a way.
Right. I wonder. She's been around a lot.
She's one of those personalities that I really don't know a whole lot about. I do have some understanding that she first came onto the scene as somewhat of a teenager, and she was about bullying or something about that.
Yeah, she got bullied. She went to school in Rhode Island, dropped out when she was a junior. So she is, along with many other conservative pundits who never graduated college. And she was liberal for a while. I think she did a flip. She went from liberal to conservative pretty quickly. Who knows why? Maybe because there's more money in it, because of course there's a lot more money being a conservative loudmouth than a liberal thinker, right? There's much more money in it. And I think it was right around the time that Trump became president. That's when she had a come to Jesus moment and decided to go hip and jowl with the conservatives. But she is not someone who is a deep thinker. I think that's the most pleasant way of putting it, right?
Yeah, she's not really known for any accolades or anything. It's not like she's got some kind of credit we should be actually paying attention. Yeah, she's one of those people I don't know about because I'm like, there's no need to.
Right.
Basically.
Well, that's the thing. Well, let's face it. The reason why she's popular is because, well, she's getting funded by the right-wing hate machine. 1, 2, she's not unattractive, and 3, she's loud. That's the reason. Those are the reasons. It isn't like her content's any good. It's just that she suckers in people who don't have critical thinking skills, and they go, I want to pay attention to her.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. So do you still have your visitors in?
Oh no, not everything is going back to normal. It's like they left last weekend, I think.
Oh, good for you, dude. Good for you. Empty vessels make the most noise. That's right, Marmaduke Scarlet. I like that. So if you don't have a lot of things going on in your head, you're going to have to speak loudly. That sounds very Taoist. That's Tao, Taoist, right? Empty vessels make the most noise, indeed.
They can ring out. They can resonate.
Right. Well, that's what, once again, you can say one thing about Republicans and fascists is that they are loud. They have figured out that quantity has a quality of its own, kind of, maybe, perhaps, that the more they speak and the louder they speak, the bigger audience they're going to have. Of course, that only works when you have a population or a society that is kind of dysfunctional to begin with.
Yeah. When mental health is not something that is afforded for everybody.
Exactly. Yeah, when I was in college, I took a course in the philosophies of China and Japan, and we covered Taoism. Do I still have? I don't know. I don't even know what I have in my library here anymore. I had selective writings from Confucius. I think I had the whole Analects, and there's a Taoist philosopher called Xuanzi. And when you see The Matrix, right? Xuanzi, he was the person who came up with I had a dream that I was a butterfly. Now, am I a man having a dream that I was a butterfly, or a butterfly having the dream that I'm a man? So he was that kind of guy. But yeah, good writings. And of course, the mythological Lao Tzu wrote the Tao Te Ching, which is the way of power. That's a very bite-sizable kind of bits of wisdom, which is actually, whenever you hear me talking about how to cook the small fish, that's directly from the Tao Te Ching, from the fictional Lao Tzu. Taoism is the study of the market. I see what you did there, John. I saw the pun. I see the pun. Yeah. Well, what's interesting about Candace Owens, right? They are a symptom of the problem that makes the illness worse, right? So even though Candace Owens may not be causing the illness, she does exacerbate it. She does, her and her followers, her and people like her, they make the situation worse.
Really, I think it is just an opinion, but I think they have more attention and it's more popular, more because of they have a lot of money. They have a lot of resources to throw at their projects and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
And I think really I kind of think like this community is like the savior of the world in a way. It has gotten me to think about so many different subjects and be able to present good arguments, like I think this is most likely, like, if more people, if this becomes more popular, these ideas that are in this community that I've been exposed to, it will, save humanity.
Well, you know
I'm
what? Well, at first, my first principle is to do the Hippocratic oath, and that is to do no harm, right? So, um, and if I'm doing that and making people laugh and entertaining, then that's like my base level of am I doing my job, whatever this is, whatever my job is. If I'm entertaining people and easing their burden, right, that's great. And then everything after that is kind of gravy for me. And so yeah, I definitely think that where we are in a world of people with horrible messages, the Candace Owens, the mega preachers, we're definitely in a world where they thrive, and that's unfortunate. And a lot of what we do is trying, here in the community, here in the secular humanist, the skeptic community, is just try to push back against that.
And really, it's, I'm not a pacifist, but really I think that it is most likely, if there's enough people talking about it, and if I can get involved with, helping this community grow, where am I going? It's not going to be violence that helps evolve our humanity. It's going to be like having good arguments, and or like thinking, having better thinking.
Yeah, I think you're right about that, in the fact that once again, talking about jobs, what are our jobs being responsible adults in the world, right? It is being in this space and acting politically. It is to make sure things don't pop off too much, to make sure the fascists don't take control of the government.
Man, that would be
right?
Scary.
That, which we came very close to. I mean, the 1-year anniversary of the thing is coming up, right? Of the insurrection. If nothing else, if we keep the fascists, the theocrats, the would-be authoritarians from taking control of the country, then I'll be bold and optimistic, then we will win, right? They understand that on a certain level. I don't think we understand that. Some of us do. I think, like, when you talk to Hammett, right? I think in the back of his head, it's less like we will win, progressives will win, humanists will win if we just keep the fascists out of power, because society is moving forward, right? We see that in our lifetimes. It's just keeping the fascists at bay, to making sure that they don't metastasize and take over the whole system.
It's crazy. Yeah, progress, that is something that is, pretty much at the end of the day, maybe one of the last things I talk about, or say to you, or is, what kind of progress I've made. That's what I'm worried about. But it's crazy here in Texas. We started to get some of the things legalized for marijuana, and I was actually able to go into a convenience store and purchase things that I never had access before, and I could legally obtain it and have it. And now I think it's January. There's a date in January that they have to, all the convenience stores have to take out some of those stuff. Like if they
I think we
have
lost
any
you.
leftovers, they're taking, like, we take 2 steps forward and then 1 step backward. It's I don't know. That's
Well, that's the
how I
thing,
see it
right?
right at this point.
And that's the thing, is that we would all like to believe, or we would hope, we get our expectations up, that the trend line for progress is straight and really
Right.
fast, but it
It
is
would be
not.
nice.
It is not.
Right.
It is really 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Sometimes 1 step forwards, 2 steps back. Sometimes it's like that. It's just continually putting pressure to go forward and trying to drag people into the 20th century. Maybe they're living in the 18th century or the 19th century, dragging them into the here and the now. Yeah. It's like that with evolution, though. Evolution isn't like a straight process. It isn't like constant improvement, because evolution doesn't do that. When changes occur, there's like it's punctuated equilibrium. There's like long plateaus of nothing, not a lot happening, and then suddenly a change occurs. And because I don't want to use the word progress, because that's not a good way of defining the process. But you have these long levels, these plateaus where not a lot happens, and then suddenly something does happen and things change. And you can see that here in the States, with societal change. There was a long time that nothing really seemed to change, and then suddenly it felt like suddenly there was gay marriage, right? Even though people had been working on this for decades.
Yeah.
Suddenly there was marijuana available. But people have been working on that for decades. I remember passing out flyers back in the 90s about, legalizing marijuana. So there are people grinding out the work. But to the everyday person, it's like, hey, look at this. It just happened. Wow. Now there's literally a dispensary right down the street. A 5-minute walk.
Yeah. And it's huge. I mean, NORML has been around since I think like the late 70s.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a group of lawyers and, people who've been like, um, you know, working to make that kind of change happen.
A funny note is that Rick Steves, who does this travel show, a variety of travel shows on PBS, right? He does Rick Steves Europe. He's a big advocate. He sits on the board of NORML, and whenever he's on the local NPR station, the National Public Radio station, they always ask him about his job and what he does for NORML. And he's like, oh yeah, I love talking about normalizing marijuana, right? About legalization, about decriminalization of marijuana. He's a big advocate of it.
Something that has so many uses. I mean, even to like building material, like you can literally use it as a building material.
Oh yeah.
It,
right.
There's so many benefits to it, other than the whole, like, I'm even kind of like growing out of the whole smoking thing. It's really become a very minimal thing that I do as a part of my day.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to see it legalized so it could be utilized for other kind of products. There's all kinds of stuff that can be made with it. That it would just be progress. It would be progress.
I'll tell you, if Joe Biden wants to win the midterm elections, if he wants the Democrats to win, it's just, if you can get the FDA to take it off that list, take marijuana off the same category as heroin is, because that's where it is right now. It's in that same category. I think that he would get a lot of support. People would be pretty happy with that move.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
John Hudson notes the hemp plastic, the fuels, the textiles. Yeah. And Marmaduke Scarlett points out that Australia is very forward on pot. They introduced mobile drug testing about 10 years ago. Drug testing? And you're right, Kat the Humanist. Plastics are... What a lot of people don't realize is that everyday plastic is made with petrochemical, was made by oil. So every single time, you get something from Amazon and it has a lot of plastic packaging to it, that's oil being used. Yeah.
there's so much of it now. Like the most recent progress I've seen on that, like how it's taking all these plastics and you can take dirty plastic and melt it, but not to a point to where it's a liquid, and you can actually add it with sand, and then that can be compressed. You can use it to put it on roads. It's starting to it's something that I've seen here just recently. But yeah, something needs to be done with that. It's gross. Like here in Texas, I remember as a kid, it was don't mess with Texas, don't litter, you know, dude. There's some spots that are horrible around here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like
Oh, yeah.
it and it's pure like food trash,
Yeah.
and it's just all up and down the roads. It makes the woods look like
Yeah. And I mean, it's well known that plastic isn't gonna like deteriorate over time. It doesn't just fall apart. So it's with us. It's with us
it
for a long
takes
time.
a long time. Yeah.
Yeah. John Hudson points out in a recent poll, 2/3 of the population in Texas approve of legal weed. Yeah, I mean, this is the thing, right? And this is what's important to point out to our liberal friends and neighbors and relatives is that you got to go vote. The only reason why, and you got to be an activist too. You got to go out there. You got to vote. You got to vote in the midterms. You got to vote in your local elections. You got to vote in your statewide elections because there are more of us than there are of them. That's why Republicans want to prevent us from voting. That's why Republicans don't want voting day to be a national holiday. That's why Republicans don't want vote by mail. They know they cannot win. That's why Republicans are doing non-democratic things to obtain and to stay in power. Because they know that they're a political minority.
But they have a lot of talking heads for them. A bunch
Well,
of talking heads that are very well funded.
Yeah. Well,
and have huge audiences.
Sure. Well, they have a propaganda machine. You have Fox
Yeah.
News, and then you have all the other lunatic websites and sites like OAN, Newsmax, just cranking away, just creating crap. There was a person, right? Oh, go ahead, Tom.
One thing I've started to do here recently, whenever I visit Twitter and Facebook and whatnot, I've tried to be like, I'm going to share this. I want to share. I would like to influence people to share out these like news programs, share it out, get it like pushed out there. And that's I don't know.
I think that's wise. I try to be mindful about what I share, even what I like on Facebook and what I like on Twitter and how I go about my business. Yeah, I try to. Well, basically, it's about promoting reality-based news, fact-based news, right? As the channel gets bigger, more trolls kind of pop up, after the shows are over and they put in comments. So there was one person, and I forget who it is, who said something like, people turning blue from overdosing on silver isn't true. And I'm like, well, I'm just going to copy and paste this bit from WebMD, which I believe is a valid source of information, right? And put the link in, and hopefully they'll read it. Maybe they will. Maybe it'll change their minds. Maybe someone else will stumble upon that comment to a comment, and maybe they'll realize that, yes, you can overdose from silver, and yes, it can turn your skin blue.
Yeah, what was it? Pat Robertson? One of those knuckleheads was selling that stuff.
Yes.
And I think there was even a court case that came out of that.
Well, the thing is about and this is and this is what's so important about when someone tells you that they are a social liberal and a fiscal conservative, they just don't understand, right? When you're saying that you're a fiscal conservative, you're basically saying that you're not going to fund the government to to keep an eye on things like the supplement industry, right? The supplement industry, vitamins, other kind of substances that are there supposedly to keep you healthy. They're fairly unregulated. So when you're saying that you're a fiscal conservative, what you're really saying is that you are complicit with this kind of predatory capitalism. That's what you are. Because there's no way that shit should be legal. There's no way it should be legal.
It allows people to take advantage of other people. It does. It worries me, like eating certain things, and like, because I don't know what kind of contaminants can be in it. Like it's something I've become more aware of as you know, I don't know. But yeah. That does allow for them to take advantage of people, and it's disgusting.
Yeah. It is. Yes, ivermectin. Ivermectin is going to be popular up until the time, and I see the pun that you did there, John Hudson. I saw the pun. Ivermectin will be popular up until the time that another fake sham disease, cure is going to be popular. Who knows what it'll be next? Right now it's ivermectin. Before it was hydrochloroquine, right? And now it's ivermectin.
Yeah, I mean, down to like drinking bleach-like products.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's hard for me to fathom because it's not something that even crosses my mind. I'm like, this is something I could clean something with. If I wanted it to eat corrosive things, it would clean it off. A piece of metal. I don't know.
This is why it's so important to spend time with your kids as they're growing up. And when you see something on TV with them, because there's a lot of quack cures on commercials. And I would always, point out, it's like, look, if they're not giving you a side effects, like this could be, this can, something bad can happen to you if you take this medicine, then more than likely it's not real. It's not real medicine. If you see little tiny words at the end of, let's say, a medication, so-called medication or supplement, then that means it's probably something like the FDA does not endorse this product. Then that's BS too. You have to tell your kids that, everyone, or your grandchildren that. That's how we get an educated populace, because and trying to get the schools to do their job, trying to fund the schools properly.
Absolutely.
You have seen the blue guy. He has a fun side effect. I could see that. Right? There. There's more than one blue person out there. There's more than one person overdosing on colloidal silver. That's for sure.
It's the real life Smurfs.
Yes, except they're not fun. They're not fun. Right? They're not fun people, typically. Because let's face it, if you're at the point that you think the government is out to put microchips into you for the vaccine or medication, then you're probably a little unbalanced. I'm just going to say that. Yeah, a lot of these fat-soluble vitamins, right? I mean, there are some, like the fat-soluble vitamins, just Marmaduke Scarlet was talking about vitamin E can mess you up. There are certain vitamins like vitamin C that you can just, if you take too much of it, you're just going to pee it out. You're just going to urinate it out. But they're the fat-soluble ones, I believe. Like, I think A is another one. If you eat too much of it, you can overdose. You can't, like, excrete it out.
Damn. Yeah.
See, fun.
Heck yeah.
So, all right. Do you have any? How do you feel about New Year's resolutions, Telvin? Are you pro, for, neutral?
I liked your piece on Medium that you put out about that. Yeah, people putting too much pressure on themselves to like try to do things that are not obtainable. No, I'm not one of those type of people. Like I want to, if I'm gonna do something, uh, you know, I'm gonna actually do it. You know,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
not just something I'm gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna do this and that, and never really get around to it
Yeah.
and
Well,
build
when
myself up to let myself down and be like, oh, I suck because I couldn't quit or I couldn't obtain this.
yeah, because of course the vast majority of New Year's resolutions do fail, but people will change when they're ready to change. And when is the time to change? Well, typically it's now, whatever time that is. There's this saying about when it's the best time to plant a tree, and that was 20. And the answer is it's 20 years ago. When is the best time to invest? 20 years ago. So it's good to be mindful of that, not to be really stuck on a date of making these resolutions, but just being aware that the best time is, of course, the time that you choose. But
Yeah, be proactive about the things that you want to do or need to do. If you need to do it, yeah, you're probably not going to make it too far.
yeah,
Although I'm
yeah,
pretty sure some people coddle others, but um, yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
if it's something you want to do. Yeah, for goodness sake, get after it. Go get it done. Let's see some
yeah,
progress.
yeah. Let
Show
your
us, share it with us, whatever it is that you're doing out there.
yeah.
Yeah.
I will also say this. Martin Luther, who the Martin Luther, not Martin Luther King Jr., but Martin Luther, the Reformation guy. I believe this is a quote. I'm going to paraphrase it. Is that God is whatever you let your mind rest on, right? So I thought that was an interesting insight on his part. So if your mind rests on God, then you are a Christian, you're a believer in God. But in a way that how I interpret that in the secular humanist kind of way is that if your mind rests on, or if you allow your mind to rest on what you want to change or on how you want to progress in life, I think that's a big step forward, right? If you want to be good at something, then surround yourself with content, let's say, or with media, or with people around you that are conducive to that change. I think that's probably the biggest variable right there, is just being embedded in that thing that you want to be good at, or then that behavior change. Yeah. What's up, Kendra?
Absolutely. Yeah, Kendra has a day off today.
Oh, wow. How about that? Good for you. Good for you. Yeah. Yeah. I don't. I have to work, but it's a slow day because this time of year, a lot of the medical labs, a lot of the research facilities are closed because they're academic and everything. So I am typically working short days, which allows me to do the tippity tap writing on the medium and also cutting videos and stuff like that. So yeah, that's basically what I do when I'm not doing this. I am either writing, cutting video, or thinking about crappy jokes and subjecting my girlfriend to them. We got a whole new set of short videos coming out too, because now that my girlfriend is out of quarantine, I needed a second person to be with me to do some of these bits, and so we're going to start doing bits. I don't want to
Awesome.
give too much away, but I'm hoping this weekend, and we'll see if it works. I don't know if it's going to work or not. I don't know if it's going to connect with people, but we'll see what happens. I'm excited.
I have been enjoying those little news bites with Jack Materko. Those have been
Thanks.
Materko.
Yeah. We try to do funny. We try to be funny and pertinent, right? Relevant. So I'm
But
going to drop another one tonight.
I heard that you're going to have the girlfriend on with you to do some of those as well.
Well, I can't give too much away, but she will be involved in the process because it's one of those things I need two people with, and she's my second person. You know, this is the glory about being romantically involved with someone who does this kind of work. It's like, hey, how about you helping me doing this thing? And it's a project that she's going to find, that she will find very satisfying. I can't give too much away.
Awesome.
But it's gonna.
I look forward to seeing it. I look forward to it.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll be able to do it this weekend. I'm looking. I think so. I think so. All right. On that note, everyone, I'm going to run because I got to go to work. Right. Because that's a thing. I hope everyone's doing well. I hope you're all safe. I hope you're healthy and doing the same crazy thing tomorrow.
Shamala hamala.
Shamala hamala. Got to hit the end broadcast.